afternoon, everybody. Welcome into JSY Talks Football. This is our Leeds United. We're all going to get into it a little bit. Stu's got a little bit planned first about his team and changes. We're going to get into the season. We're going to get into the playoffs. Just our personal opinions on Leeds United in general. Please don't shoot us down for it. We've got a nice panel today. We've got Stu and Lee. We've got Stacey. We've got Danny at Danny Talk Sport. Stacey at the Mum Overload. Stu at the Disabled Team. And Lee at Lee Stay from TV. Lee's on 160 subscribers. Let's get him a couple more subscribers as well. Let's get him on that road to 200. This is our thoughts. Please don't shoot us down for it. I have met up with Stacey today as well. We have met up with Stacey. A couple of beers and a coffee.
She's had a couple of beers, chat. She's had a couple of
beers.
I
have had a couple of beers. I'm happy. We've had a really nice day. It's been nice to meet up with Stacey. Me, Stacey, and Stu. We'll all meet up soon as well. We'll all do it.
Absolutely nowhere. We just sat there laughing, joking, all funny.
I'll get through some nervous. I were nervous, quiet. Diddy in person, as Stacey will say. Stu will come in with the filters this side and say she does look better with the filters on. Will our Stu? Absolutely. Lee will probably agree as well. He'll push his dad out of chair. Let's get through this chat, and then Stu and Lee are going to start off with something, and then we will get into stuff. Big up to Dellen. Absolutely to Stacey as well. You've got ads on your latest video. Brilliant, Dellen. Make sure we're checking Dellen out. Big up to Carol in the house. 15 people in the house. Big up to you all. Here she is. We're on about you today, Mrs. Angels. Fucking Carol, Dellen and Fiona. Dellen? Jess, Stu and Lee. Big up, Ellen. Dellen. Fucking Jules, dear me. Get me words out.
Makes it a little bit too much to drink.
Maybe put my vape in the fridge so it says it all.
Zach out. Good boy.
Even Daniel agree, can't see that happening, Dellen. I think even Stu and Lee think they'll say it same.
No.
Like Angels say 15, my ass. Big up to DiCaro, big up.
Zach.
How are we going to dark room? Are we on about that, Dellen? I'm here. I'm always late. Angels would know that by now. Big up, Cole.
Big up, Colin.
Big up to Leeds Angels. Jamie Wotton's in the house. Absolutely loyal one, as always. So, Stu, I know you've got a little bit you want to get through. The floor's yours, mate.
Right, well, something occurred to me yesterday after that when we did that watch along on your show. And big up to the 1K views, Jess. Big up to you. That's well deserved. Really well.
All of us, not just me, all of us.
Right. Well, I talked about making changes to the team because what we're trying to say yesterday was, what is the likelihood of Leeds beating Southampton and Ipswich beating Huddersfield? You'd like to say that Ipswich have got a bigger chance of beating Huddersfield as Leeds have beaten Southampton. So my argument was, well, if we know that if we're all in mindset at playoffs, isn't this the most idealistic time to make the changes to the team against Southampton? Give the players that bit of a rest, get them recuperated, get them ready to go in time for playoffs. Now, this was my team. What I thought about doing. Now, I know you can't change everybody. I get it, right? But this is what I went with. We're going to stick with Meslier and goal, I think, personally. But I had Shackleton in instead of Gray. I kept Road on him because regardless of what happens, if we don't get promoted, he's going to go back anyway. So give Ampadu a rest. So to give Cresswell a game. Stick with Sam Byron to give Firpo a rest because he's impressed me as Firpo going forward this season, regardless of where we finish and how the season finishes. He's impressed me as Firpo. Now, I'd bring back Kamara to partner Gruev in midfield. I'd still play Nonto. I'd keep Nonto on the wing because I think you need him there. I'd still play Somerville, but I would drop Rutter, not drop Rutter, rest Rutter, bring in Joe Geltard, and I would give Perot a game to rest Bamford, just so that they can all get so the body's in 100% top tip condition for going into playoffs.
realistically, though, Stu, do you see him making those changes?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't see him making that many changes. No, I don't.
Keep
But
up, Stu, put that back up. Put that back up.
hang on
I'll
a
let
minute.
me dib in. Big up to Daniel E, Harry, Kevin, Carol, James. Do you agree with that, Danny? Or would you more or less go with the same team?
No, I don't agree with it. I wouldn't play Joffrey. There's no point bringing a player in that's had and not played all season. That's going to be cold and his muscles aren't going to be right, and could get an injury any time. Shackleton, probably the same, but he probably had more games than Joffrey, so yeah, probably might give him a game. I wouldn't play Cooper. I'd still play Ampadu at centre anyway. Meslier, yeah, I'd probably Firpo's been our best player since January, so I'd probably keep him in. And the striker just defies all object. I won't even have him in the squad. For me,
I agree with you, Danny. I agree with you. I do. But what about? All right then. What happens if Byram or Firpo gets injured against Southampton tomorrow and they're out for the rest of the season?
We'll be well tomorrow. It's only Thursday tomorrow. Our little trip Saturday.
You'd have to count on Shackleton or you'd have to count on them then if one of them got injured, wouldn't you?
yeah, but that's the thing, Stu. I'm looking at it as if we make that many changes, the fans in the ground are going to think, well, we've just given up anyway. When we've still got that slight slim chance of still getting there, he's going to go strong for me. It's probably the strongest team he's going to think. I think Bamford will be back. I think Bamford will play up top. He's going to play Rutter. He's going to play Nonto. He's going to play Somerville. I think he's going to bring Kamara back in. I think he's going to put Great right back.
Yeah, I agree.
Thing. So while there's still that slimmer of hope, he's not going to make changes. And to be honest, I think I've come round to the thing now of this is Daniel Farke's first time in a. If we don't go up in a playoffs, yeah, we haven't won 5 out of the last 5 that we've been in. But the record's there to be broken, and I think with our squad in the playoffs, a lot of teams in the playoffs are going to be thinking, we come up against this and play football, we're going to get hammered. So for me, at the minute, I've got that slim hope that Huddersfield can beat Ipswich 1-0. We can nick a 1-0 against Southampton, and it's we're up. But I won't make. If we're going to make one change, it'd probably bring Kamara back in and put Gray to right back, and Bamford, if fit, automatically starts for me.
I agree.
I'm going to wash them tomorrow.
Like you said, what's your thoughts on that team? Many changes, or would you just stick as it is?
I don't think he's going to change his team.
I don't think he will.
Right. See, I like Stu's lineup, apart from one player.
No.
Pero, yeah. He is not good enough.
I know he's not good enough.
But then, did Darren just say this is the first time? I'm sorry, come after me, I don't care. We're in the playoffs. I've resigned to the playoffs. Yeah. Is this the first time Farke's been in the playoffs?
Yeah.
So, be interested to see how he approaches the playoffs. I know we haven't had the greatest of records in playoffs, but going on the season we've had, minus the past few games, I think we could do it in the playoffs. I think we could get rid of that bad taste in our mouths when it comes to playoffs.
You think he's the man to take us through playoffs and win it?
Yeah.
In your personal opinion?
My personal opinion. Because but me and Danny have said at the start of the season, we'd finish in 14th place. So Farke has already exceeded my expectations of this team.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't been having trouble training. Oh, I know they said that he was being hard on them, but go on, Farke.
You think they had a double training session, didn't they?
But then, I'm saying go on, Farke, but then could that also be a downfall for us if he's training them too hard? It's like, I'd give I'd like that team lineup, brilliant. Yeah, because rest Ampadu, rest Gray, and rest Bamford. I don't think he's going to rest Bamford. I think he's going to get Bamford's going to start. And if he's fit, he'll be in the team on Saturday. But give Mateo Joseph a freaking start. That's the only thing I'd swap with that is put Joseph in and get Pirro out. I just do not rate Pirro at all.
I don't either.
I never saw him play for other teams at all. So this is my point of view on Pirro is purely based on how he's played for Leeds, and he's just not the right fit for Leeds. I'm sorry. And how much do you pay for him?
10.5 million, rising up to 16, depending on.
I think for me that's a waste of our money, if I'm honest. But then I can understand why no one would at the time. I could understand why no one wanted to come to Leeds United because we was in utter chaos. Who in their right mind would want to come to a club that is in the middle of a chaotic time? Nobody. So I understand that they tried to get who they could amidst all the uncertainty. But now there's more, shall we say there's more confidence in Leeds United at the moment? Just purely based on how we placed this season. If we don't go up, we're losing. I reckon Nonto's going to go. Somerville's definitely going to go because he is a class player. You don't want to stay in Championship. And obviously, we've got Kamara on loan, haven't we?
No, Kamara.
It's genuinely.
Yeah.
So Rodon's definitely going to go. He's not going to want to stay with us. If he stays with us, I'll be utterly surprised if he stays with us in Championship. I'll be fantastically surprised if he stays. So we just got to think about who's going to go, who we think is going to go, and who is Farke going to get in to replace them if we stay in the Championship.
You're not going to find that same quality to come back to play Championship. You're not going to find the same players again. I
think it was Coover. That said about go for someone in the lower leagues. There's some decent players in lower league teams. Try going down there.
Well, look at
them players instead of going
more or less. I know they spent in January, but more or less they came into the Championship, and Daniel backed me up here with a League One team.
Exactly.
The problem is for me with Daniel Farke is, and he's already said it, and Daniel backed me on this, and so will Stuart, is he don't believe in changing things, even if it was playoffs or the game. We know we've got a glimmer of hope, and let's be honest, it's a glimmer of hope. It's not, we need to win and we're up. It ain't that. We have to hope for a miracle. At best, Huddersfield could go there and sit for a draw, and that'd be them done. Ipswich are up, and credit to them. But do I think he'd play that team on Saturday? And we all know on here we don't shoot each other down for opinions, and we're honest and open. No, I don't. I genuinely believe, Stu, if anything, I think you've got the main man up front, right? Maybe with Bamford not starting with his knee. I look at that team and I think, the Creswell, never been given a chance at Leeds this season under Daniel Farke. Geldart, not really. Shacks, not really. Creswell, not really. Pirro, I don't know what that guy's best position is for Leeds. I don't know if it would have panicked buy, but it hasn't worked out for him. And if, the prayers go our way and say, for example, Ipswich got that lost in hyphens, I don't think they will, and Leeds did go up, I would be worried for Joel Pirro. I would, Stu. I really would.
I agree. I
think the problem is, though, right, this team, when I selected this team, I selected this team in the idea of giving our players, the better players, a rest to be able to go in the play. I'm already thinking playoffs. I'm not even giving us a glimmer of hope on Saturday. I'm not. So I was thinking playoffs. Rest us better, so-called better players. Try to get them. I don't know. The momentum's gone. So we can't say that we're going to break momentum because we haven't got any momentum. That momentum's gone. The momentum's gone. The performances has gone. There's not. if we were winning, if we'd have won every game in April and Ipswich picked us to it, I'd say yeah, stick with the same team. Just keep going with the same team throughout the playoffs. But I don't want some of our better players to get injured against Southampton, be out for playoffs, and then what do we do? What's if Bamford picks up an injury against Southampton? You'll have to go with Perot through playoffs. I'd sooner go through I'd sooner start Perot in a game where I think it's meaningless anyway. Because even if we played his best players, what guarantee has anyone got that we're going to beat Southampton?
We're playing at the minute, Stu, and Danny said it, and he's called it probably since about January. We won't beat Southampton, and
that's why I've gone with that team, because I don't think we've got. I don't want any of our better players to pick up an injury.
But that could also go for Ipswich. Are they going to change their team?
Because they
they need to. But there's a difference, so Danny. They need the result to get promoted. We need the result in all. That Ipswich are going to lose.
But for me, Stu, dropping players and playing a not so better team that's hardly played is saying to the fans, "I've given up already for playoffs when we've still could have a chance of doing it."
But you know, if Bamford picks up an injury or Firpo picks up an injury, we're going to be saying, "Well, why didn't we rest them? Why did we play them when we needed them for playoffs?"
If that team lined up for me on Saturday, I'd be disappointed.
I wouldn't be. Look, take Perot out of it, put in Joseph, right?
Even with Joseph starting, I'd still be disappointed.
Well, would you be more disappointed if Bamford gets an injury tomorrow on Saturday and then he's snatched for playoffs? What would you do then? You'd have to play Perot or Joseph.
Yeah, but Stu, what happens if Ipswich could get an injury and it makes them not get promoted? They're not thinking that way.
Stu,
no, they've got a better squad than we've got, Danny.
The patch Leif Davis up for last night, Stu, and I don't think he was at 100%. I think a lot of those players last night was carrying knocks. The difference, Stu, they gave it to the last minute.
We didn't do anything against it. We didn't do anything against QPR. With his better players, we did nothing.
Yeah, for me though, that was QPR coming with a game plan and succeeding in that game plan. We've turned up thinking QPR.
You don't think Russell Martin's going to come to Welham Road with a game plan?
Yeah, he's going to come and want to win.
Well, he'll come with a low block to frustrate the hell out of us.
Never played a low block. Russell Martin has never played a low block at Southampton.
Well, the mid-block then, Danny. They'll come with a plan. They won't come out all guns blazing against us.
I think he's going to want to
They'll want to beat us because Russell Martin will be thinking that could be playoff final. Leeds for Southampton.
For me, I think he's going to want to come and play. He's going to want to come and play and get one over on Farke, because Farke took the captaincy off him at Norwich when he was there. And he hasn't forgiven Farke for it. You know what I mean? He's going to want to come and play and win convincingly. And for me, that team there, Southampton's reserves team could beat that one that you've put up there for me.
I want to make changes.
You would?
Yes, I would.
Go on, Lee. At least I've got Lee on my side. Imagine Lee sat next to me now. But look, I want everybody to be able to give their honest opinion. I'm not saying go with that team, Danny, but would you rest one or two of them as first team players?
Right, for me, the ones that get rested. So we've got Medley in goal, Eastage in goal. For me, Byram comes out, Gray goes in at right back. You can't split that centre defensive partnership up for me because why? Because they're the better two out of the other two. The other two, Cooper's got a turning space of a Titanic and not quick. Cresswell's not quick, so their pacey strikers are just going to be beaten for pace anyway. Left back, I'd play Firpo because he's been our best player since January. Kamara I'd bring in at side of Gruev. Joffe, for me, is more of a winger than he is a number 10. So probably only one I'd give a rest to is Somerville and play Anthony.
But Somerville's been your leading goal scorer. If you're talking about us having a slight chance, why would you rest your leading goal scorer then, Danny?
All right then. Drop Nonto and give Anthony a chance.
But Nanto's been one of our informed players this month.
Yeah, but so Dan James, but he can't get in the squad.
It won't
Dan James will be nice if he come back from Euros.
No. Playoffs. But I do agree, Stu, with Danny in the fact that I know it's only a glimmer, as in a glimmer.
1%.
I don't know about that.
I don't think it,
Me being a bit pessimistic.
You see,
I think it's not.
we've got to work for two miracles. We've got to work for two miracles. Huddersfield beat Ipswich and Leeds suddenly refinding form and beating Southampton, who were fourth.
How do we know this wasn't a plan of Daniel Farkas to start with? Don't.
Just about to say that, you know.
What
You know what I mean?
As well, I've started, don't
To take it to the last game of the season and then think. I've got a funny feeling Huddersfield beat Ipswich 1-0 at weekend.
My old girl said so. My mum said so. She says it won it behind me.
Been saying for a month that Southampton are going to beat Leeds.
Yeah, but like I said to you, Stu, that's been with reverse psychology. Wanting Leeds.
I think Southampton could beat Leeds. I genuinely believe Southampton could beat Leeds.
I think they could. I actually think they'll be up for this last game. I think this has been a plan or something of Farkas for thing last day of the season. I honestly think Huddersfield beat Ipswich 1-0.
They've got something to play for Huddersfield. I know what you're saying with this swing. But football's not played on paper, as we found out, as everybody found out last Friday with QPR.
Yep.
On paper, we should have bet QPR. We didn't. We didn't even, I won't swear, we didn't even bloody turn up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
18 21s would have probably done a better job because Leeds, for me, that game went missing when it mattered. If we'd have lost you, like I said to you, 1-0 goal on a corner, and we'd give that heart and soul and come off that pitch ringing, and we'd lost, I wouldn't have had no quite. But they won't bother, and that's what got me. Side before self, wow. You want to practice what you preach? Because that performance for me, in general, was the worst performance I've seen Leeds play this season. Poor.
I agree.
Right, we've all agreed, haven't we, that Dan James hasn't looked himself since he missed that penalty against Poland.
He hasn't.
Do we also agree that Ampadu and Rodon haven't been the same Ampadu and Rodon since that game neither?
All the Wales players have been said.
I agree. So this was my argument with Danny. Why can't you split up Ampadu and Rodon? Why can't we split them up? Because they aren't showing anything this month. What if we is it 6? How many goals have we conceded in the last 3 games? Is it 7?
7.
7 goals in 3 games.
7.
On Friday. What were the game before that? No,
Coventry.
Conceded 3 against Middlesbrough, didn't we?
So we lost to Coventry.
Yeah.
So you say 4, 7, 9, 10 goals.
9.
So our 2 best centre backs have conceded that many goals in 3 games.
And we are in a minute.
Do you know what I mean? This is why I don't think that, you know, I don't think it'll hurt to rest them, to rest one of them at least. I mean, who's the one who out of Rodon and Ampadu? Who's got Leeds' best interest at heart? I think it's Ampadu. Rodon knows that he's going to be going at the end of the season. If Leeds don't go up, Rodon goes to another Premier League club like Newcastle.
I think if Leeds go up, he goes to a different club anyway. I don't think he stays. And and people that say, "Oh, get him," he's been excellent, but we've never seen him in the Premiership, so we don't know what he's going to be like. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't think we'll sign Rodon anyway. But for me, if you're going to rest one of them, it'd be Rodon for me. But then who do you put at left centre back? Cooper can't run to save his life and got turned in circle of a shape. Yeah, Cresswell's got a bit of hype behind him. But he's not quick. Do we play? And he's played at centre back before. I've noticed. Do we play Byram at centre back? Do we put Gruev back into left centre back because he's played there for Bulgaria?
Don't worry, guys.
You
We'll
know-
get through as well. I've started.
I'm not saying that, Mark, I'm not saying that Rodon won't give everything, but what I'm saying is Rodon and Ampadu's our own player.
Mm-hmm.
Rodon is a lone player. That's the difference.
Yeah.
You know, Rodon knows that he'll have another club. He'll know that he's got another club if Leeds don't go. He knows it. He's not stupid. His agents will have told him that, look, Newcastle is thinking about you.
Yeah, but Newcastle have said they want him as backup, not as first team. Newcastle said they only want him as backup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's not going to come back. If he can go to Newcastle, earn Premier League wages, being a backup, or playing again at Championship for Leeds United next season,
I reckon he'd
where
go
are you going to
Newcastle.
go?
I think he'll stay. I think he'd stay at Leeds because he's guaranteed game time if we're in Championship.
Championship. What about if we get to Danny? No.
I don't think it's Premiership quality. I don't think we sign him in Premiership.
Really?
Yep.
Stuart?
I spoke to Stell a few months ago now. I'll get him back on TDT again. And he said to me that the problem Rodon found when he come at Spurs, they bought him at the wrong time. He wasn't a Conte signing. He was a club signing. Conte never wanted him, so we were never going to be given an opportunity, no matter how good or bad he was. But he's seen Joe Rodon training and seen, first hand and stuff like that, and he reckons like Joe Rodon could be one of them hidden gem centre backs for any Premier League club.
For me, Rodon probably gets in the Premiership now. If we were going now, for me, Rodon gets in four of them teams in there. I don't think he gets in any more.
Like that, Angels. You want to get that on Twitter, lass?
I might find a character conversion of that one, just music in background.
I will get to your comments as well, guys. I have started them. I'll do that at the end. Go on, Shu.
I just look. Do you know what's the more? 2 quick points, and then I'm going to shut up. Right, 2 quick points. What I find the most frustrating is we were there, and we let it slip. That's point number one. And point number two is I would not want to be Daniel Farke at this moment in time, because Daniel Farke's got a conundrum on his hands. He'll know more than me and you and anybody else because he's been in top level football for years. But he'll be looking at the Ipswich game thinking, what percentage are they going to? Is there a chance that we can get a result? And then it's going to be, how do I get Leeds United up for this game? Because the confidence must be on floor. They had it, and then people won't like using this word. They had it, and then they bottled it. Mm-hmm. Now he's got to find a way of picking them up off the floor again and going again. You're asking players to get up and go again, and how do you do that? How does Farke do that?
For me, that's easy. You tell them, even though it's a pressure game, you say, look, no pressure on it. Go out and do your business for me.
But they couldn't deal with the pressure that QPR done it last week. That's
why I'm saying you tell them there's no pressure on it. You go out and do what you need to do. Go out and enjoy your football.
I understand that, but my stance on it is a little bit with Stewie's. Look, you want me to be brutally honest and say it as it is? We clawed back fucking 17 points. Sorry, Lee, because I know you sat there. We clawed that back. We were sat in first position. We had it all, Stu. We could smell it. And then they fucking capitulated. After that international break, it was just like something switched and we couldn't do it. We haven't been there for me in general performance-wise. We were lucky against Middlesbrough. You want the brutal honesty of it? We was lucky. We scored more than Middlesbrough. That was it. It wasn't a real good performance. And then we go to QPR and we think, look, let's just scrape a 1-0 win here. None of us were confident. Danny called it on my watch along on the Friday at halftime. He went, we'll lose this 4-0. And he were bang on the money because the performance wasn't there. And that's what worries me, Stu. Going into the playoffs with that kind of performance, where we will be. And I know people say, we're pissing Norwich. We've done this. We've done that. Yeah, all right. All right. In any other season, 90 points would have got us up. Danny ain't going to sit in pub with his lass and say, do you know what, our lass? We got 90 points this season, but we didn't get up. Who gives a fuck? We should have done it. We should have been sat there, Stu. My personal opinion on it.
We should have got promoted the game before Leicester got promoted.
And that's the silly fact of it is like Angels is saying, if Huddersfield win and we go lose, I think everybody'd want to emigrate, if I'm honest.
Then if that happens, then I'm sorry. If that does happen, there is no way these players are winning no playoff. I'm sorry, they are. They can't come back from that.
But for me, I'd rather that happen with a full strength squad that of first team players than players that haven't played that gets the head down even more.
Well, if that happens, Danny, the first team squad aren't going to be able to get themselves up for playoffs. They can't come back from it.
Well, first playoff game is away, innit? So that's on the 12th. So
that might be a good thing, actually. That might be actually. Do you know something? I'd rather play away last and at home first because we can't deal with the pressure of being at home.
We've got away at home on second leg.
Yeah,
I'd rather have it the other way around, though, Danny. I would. I'd rather. Are we at home last start? It's away first, at home last.
Yeah.
He's one
I'd
Sunday.
rather have it the other way around.
Mistaken, are they both on the Sunday? Am I mistaken on that? Can somebody check that out when the playoffs are bit?
Yeah, I think, they're both on the 12th. We're 12:30. The other one's 2:15. I think it is. And then on I think it's 7 days later. I think it's both 8 o'clock kickoffs.
I mean, like Skip says, I think when we're winning, the players enjoyed it. Once the pressure rose, they couldn't cope. Naivety and experience. Look, I said this, and I know people might come for me for saying it, but if you look at certain players that were let out, Luke Ayling being one of them, that experience could have been key for that dressing room. I'm not saying he'd have played. Please don't shoot me down for that. But I've got that about them. And I just think that push, the experience could have helped Leeds in general. I'm not saying we should have started Ayling. Do I think we should have let him go out to Middlesbrough for half a season? Probably not. No, now I think about it, because I think that experience could have been key for the dressing room. I really do, because we have got a very young squad. And it does worry me in playoffs, Stuart. I'm not going to make no bones about it, because we've had it, Stu. And I won't sit here and put the rose-tinted glasses on and say, do you know what? I know what Leeds started with, Stu. I know we started in August. And me and Danny and Stacey, I didn't know you at the time, Stu, but we all said it. I didn't know Stacey at the time, but we all said it. I can remember Danny on Kate saying, look, we'll be lucky to get 14th. I can remember it. I think I said 10th at best. I am not disregarding the August that we had. I'm not disregarding the toxicity that was at the start of the season. I'm not. But you can't keep hiding behind all this, or this 90 points would have got us up in any other season, or, you know, we're Leicester and all this, you know, backstage with them, what they've got going on in their club. We don't support Leicester City. We support Leeds United. And if Ipswich Town can fucking do it and come up from League One, Stu, and not spend hardly any money and have a good manager like McKenna and think, well, if they get up on Saturday, what a fantastic job that guy's done. You can't take it away from him. Why are Leeds fans now, Danny, putting the bat and ball out there and saying, oh, Ipswich are going to go up. Oh, Leicester have gone up. Oh, Daniel Farke needs to be sacked. Wow. Maybe I'm too honest. But what do you want me to say, Danny?
For me, Farke shouldn't be sacked anyway. For me, I said 14th start of season, because I looked at it as Farke when he took over at Norwich. His first season, he finished 14th. Then he moved up and won it twice. And with the players that we had at the time, I thought I can't see no more than 14th, and I thought 14th would have been a good season. Am I happy where we are now? Yeah, because of how it started at the start of the season. Did I think we'd get automatics? For me, being honest, no. I always thought playoffs at best. This narrative that, you know what I mean, Ipswich have gone up thing. We went up into the Premiership. Bielsa did the same. No money to spend. We went up into the Premiership, finished 9th. So Ipswich doing it, very good season. Leicester, I don't think we clawed back that 17 points. To be honest, I think it was Leicester taking the foot off the gas. I think they knew they had the points points in the bag to start with. To think, well, we can take the foot off the gas here. We don't need to win every game. For me, I think it was, and then Ipswich there was 12 points ahead of us. They had the points on the table already. We didn't, so they could take the foot off the gas a little bit for me. And I just think they took the foot off the gas. We won games. They was hoping to get the foot back on the gas when we got a bit close. It didn't work, and it's come down to this. But for me, while we've still got a glimmer of hope, I'd go the strongest squad we can. Huddersfield have got us promoted last time when went up. Last time they beat West Brom. Who says it can't happen again?
What I kept hearing, Danny, and I'm gonna. You want us to be brutally honest, Jess, don't you?
Yeah, I do want you to be honest, Stu. Yeah, I do.
I watch a lot of YouTube channels. The only YouTube channels I don't watch are Leeds United ones. And I'll tell you the reason why. Beginning of the season, we were all saying, we've got the best squad. After transfer window shut, we all said Leeds have got the best squad. We come down. Bielsa didn't have an informed Somerville, on his plate, an informed Lonto, an informed Ampadu and stuff like that. He had players who finished. Where did we finish that season, Danny? Thought we 8th, 14th, 13th. Farke took on a squad. I know we lost a few, but he took on a squad who had 3 and 2 years in 3 years in Premier League. This is why I'll never compare Bielsa to Farke. Farke's had a better squad than Bielsa ever had.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got first, I didn't think we were going to win it, Danny, but I did think when we closed, I thought we'd finish second. When we started clawing them points back, and I did think we'd finish second when we had that really good January. But what's hurt me the most is how we've just capitulated in April. April's killed us. April's killed us totally.
No.
If you look at a Leeds United record over the years, we've never played well at Christmas, and we never play well in April.
But surely, Danny, that's good.
So if we're going to look at it, so basically what we're saying, and Danny, if we're going to look back at the records, like you've just said, we've never done well at playoffs. We've never done well at playoffs. If you look back at the records, either.
Yeah, we never have done well in the playoffs. I'm not saying we have. I'm just saying that I think the teams that are in the playoffs, looking at our team, I know it's like you're saying we haven't got no motivation. We haven't, you know what I mean? We've been losing games and stuff.
Malk said that we've run out of steam. I don't know how you re-get the steam back. If we've run out of steam, how do you get steam back?
I don't think we've run out of steam. I just think it's the mentality of the players. I don't think we've run out of steam. I think the mentality. We've got a young squad, right? So there's only in our squad now. We've got Bamford who went up last time. We've got Cooper that went up last time. We've got Shackleton that went up last time. We had Ayling, he's no longer here, that went up last time. Who else is there? Medley, Joffrey.
Cresswell. Joffrey. That was one.
Yeah. He was one at youngsters, Cresswell. So we've got, what, 5 or 6 of them players that have been up last time? And 1, 2, 3 of them are still youngsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only 2 players that are at the team now are Bamford and Cooper that have been up there for me.
Immediately.
Well, Mesley is still young. He's still a youngster, Stu. He's 24. He's still still young in goalkeeper terms.
Yeah, but he's got Premier League experience, and he's had 3 years Premier League experience. And the 2 players who play week in, week out are Meslier and Bamford. They're the only 2, aren't they?
Yeah. So for me, like Jess says, letting Ayling go, I think, was wrong. We needed him even if he didn't play, we needed him for the dressing room. Having Dallas there, all right, he's not played, but he's behind the scenes, trying to help the lads as much as he can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Pascal Struck's a miss. He went up last time with us. He was young. He's still young now. He's another miss that we've had this season. For me, the January transfer window has done this season in for me. We've got 1 player who maybe could have done with another 2, 3, maybe, to help us along. That way, could have rotated this squad. Because people saying he should have rotated, we should have rotated. The squad that he had underneath the starting 11 for me, apart from a couple of players, I don't think he'd have got in maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 championship sides. So rotating it is no good. Maybe in some matches where you think you're going to win, something like a Rotherham, you know what I mean? Yeah, change it that way. But for me, the rotation wasn't there. There's not that many decent players that we could have fallen back on. No game changers, as Evie'd say.
I agree with that. And does that fall back to January?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Leeds, like, and I can remember Evie getting called out on this, actually, to be fair. I won't mention channel because I'm not, one for bringing out channels, but she did say it, and I can remember her saying the strength and depth on Leeds United, his bench is poor. And it is, and Danny's right. Who have you got really that you bring off that bench, you think, ooh, they will change the game for Leeds? You haven't. And come end of the season, whether Leeds get in the Premiership, which we all do, we're not saying we don't want Leeds, of course we do. But if there'll be massive changes at Leeds United. Let's be real. Let's not pussyfoot round it. There will be. 31 in the house. Make sure we're smashing that like and subscribing. What's your thoughts, Stacey? Because you've been pretty quiet.
I've just been listening and just taking it all in, really. That's why I've been quiet. To be honest, I can't really think. All I can think of is playoffs. And like you said, Farke has been too predictable. He's not going to change the team. He's going to come out with the same team. We just have to hope and pray that this team can get us through the playoffs. I know full well we are not getting promoted. Shut me down, don't care. But we are going to playoffs. And I've turned around and said we're gonna get to finals, and we're gonna flop. That's just my personal opinion. It's a massive, massive miracle for us to get promoted on Saturday.
Yeah, are we doing?
Huddersfield aren't gonna do it.
If it had been the other way around, and Ipswich would have been playing Southampton, and Leeds would have had Huddersfield, and have ordered a little bit more up. Let's be real, Stu, right? Teams have slipped, yeah? And Leeds have had the opportunity to capitalise on that, right? We're all in agreement with that. We're not thinking, right? They haven't. Watford, Stoke, we lost at Hull away. Sheffield, Huddersfield. There's games, Stu, where we should have capitalised and made it count, and we haven't. And we've blown it ourselves. You can't come out like I seen, not mentioning it, but on the X, people coming out for Farke last night. People coming out and saying, oh, Ipswich have won, they're nearly there. What did you expect? They've capitalised. They've finished the chances. What do you want?
I agree. I agree with you, Justin.
Ipswich deserve it. Simple as that.
There's been games this season that we've drawn that we should have won with the amount of chances that we've missed.
Exactly. And
You know
don't
what I mean? So,
that same brush of Bamford and Meslier neither. I'm sick of hearing it. You know, Leeds haven't just dropped points. Ipswich have dropped it, and so has Leicester City. Leeds had the chance to capitalise, and they haven't. Friday was a prime example of that. All they needed to do was win.
Yep.
Even a draw. Just something to claw us on. And I know there's that slim amount of hope that, but realistically, being honest, do we think we're going to get up on automatic on Saturday? I personally don't.
No.
I don't. But while there's that slim chance, I was reading Huddersfield Town. I was in an Huddersfield Town stream the other day, and their manager has come out and said Huddersfield will not be lying down. They'll be coming out to try to spoil the promotion. They want to spoil the promotion, whether that's Leeds going up, Leeds getting in playoffs, them beating it. They're not going to lie down. He's putting a full strength squad out against Ipswich. He's going to play against Ipswich. So let's see what happens.
Would I love to be proven wrong and the God's term for us and Leeds Angels has got a balls rubbing at home and it happens and we go up automatic? I'd be ecstatic on Saturday. Do not get me wrong on that because I would. I don't want to see Leeds fail. I don't. But when people go on podcasts and they happy clap or they're a flip-flop, I'm not into that. I'm into being honest, and so is Danny, and so is Stacey, and so is Stuart. I can recall Guard of Honour champions on Saturday, Danny.
Yeah.
Guard of Honour champions, and we were wrong. We were wrong because we doubted it.
I might go to Leicester. Hang on, Southampton aren't playing Leicester. How can they give Leicester as a Guard of Honour?
There you go. And what
all Southampton will be doing is laughing their heads off.
Oh yeah.
That's what
I think Southampton are going to be up for this game. I'm sorry, I do. I think Southampton are going to want to come to you see, they know if they beat us, they know that they've beat us twice this season. They will have done double on us. That just gives them more hope going into playoffs. I'm
not saying they're not going to come and want to play, but teams that come and play, we always seem to play better against. So hopefully that goes for us. But I don't think we beat Southampton. I've said for months. I've told you that. But I'm also using that as reverse psychology. I'm also hoping that Huddersfield sneak a win. You know what I mean? And we get up there. But at the moment, I've been renowned to playoffs, and I have been for months.
I think when me and Stu were a bit different with Danny, we actually thought, and I'm not speaking out of term here, I'm a Stu, is that we thought we'd get second at best. Yeah, we did.
January, February, March, I thought second were nailed on for us. I won't lie. I said that I don't think we'll win it, but we'll get. We should finish second. We had the. If you looked at the running of the fixtures, we had the easier running. Ipswich had the most difficult running on paper. I know football they played on paper, but they had Hull, Ipswich. Hull, Coventry. We had QPR, Middlesbrough, and if only we'd have got a win against either QPR or Coventry.
Blackburn killed it for me, Stu, when we lost at 1-0. And Danny was on that. No, Danny wasn't actually. It was in the chat, and I said it, and I called it all game. Watch for the counter on what happened.
I was on the watch along.
I couldn't remember. There's that many people that are on, and I said it to Danny. Watch what they're going to do. And what happened? That and the international break, for me, killed Leeds United's season. It did. Let's be honest. And it's same as with players. Trying to piss about with it, walking it into net. Just get it in the net. There's no easy game in the Championship. Anybody can beat anybody on the day. Let's be honest. It's not like Premiership with top 6, top 4. Anybody can beat anybody on the day. Like Blackburn, for example. What happened the game after that? They got pummeled by Sheff Wednesday.
5-0. So
it happens. It does happen. The fact of the matter is, Stu, has he had enough time to turn that mentality around and get some sort of performance out of Leeds?
Well, when they come back from the QPR game, they didn't go straight home. They were straight into Thorpe Arch, looking at the video, and they had a triple training session the day after.
Yeah, but Danny, the problem, the finish, right? What's that going to do for them? Because they know how to play football. It's not like they don't know the system. They've played the same system, practically the same 11, apart from injuries and suspensions, the entire season. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if that were Farke punishing them, that could have another effect where they think, F that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think, but I don't look at it that way. If that were me and I played against QPR at Leeds, I wouldn't have wanted to go home. I'd have wanted to go home and do the video thing and do training at night time as well. I'd have been, no, come on, it's our fault we've done this. Let's get back and show them what we are doing.
What this performance against Southampton is going to tell us all what needs to be told. And if they've done a triple training session, right? And if Leeds United don't get that result against Southampton after a triple training session, I don't know what's going to. That's why I'm saying to you, what else has Farke got left in his tank to get these players up? If a triple training session is going to be the answer, then what could it be?
That's a triple training session the day after. They'll have had more since then, Stu.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is if that don't get these players up for it, nothing will.
Yeah, nothing will. But like I say, if Southampton come to play, I think Southampton beat us last time. They come with a game plan. They knew Rodon wasn't playing. They knew they could get behind Cooper with pace, and it happened. Ball over the top. Cooper's turning circles like a Titanic. You know what I mean? They got him over the top. Quick players over the top. That's why I wouldn't play. That's why I wouldn't change the central defence. The two quick players, Ampadu and Rodon, are quick. I'd be looking more at the Southampton wingers than all else. Armstrong and whoever else they've got out.
I was shocked with that Southampton performance against Leicester. I won't lie to you, Danny.
I just think that was Leicester taking their opportunity.
We'll get a Carmed on. We'll get Coover on as well and get his impartial opinion. And let me send him a link. I just don't know where we go from here, Danny. Like, I know some fans are saying, look, if we don't go up this season, is it a disappointment, in honesty? If we don't go up this season and we have another season at Championship?
No,
because it was a 2-year project anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
I think it's going to affect us FFP financially, and that's the worry I've got. That's the worry I've got.
I was thinking that, but don't forget we've sold Sinisterra, we've sold Adams. That hasn't come off this year's thing yet, and we sold them.
Yeah, but
it's still 30. We'd need to find 30 million then, Stu, instead of 78. You know what I mean?
Does he need to change his tactics? Because this is a Liverpool fan, right?
You can't mess about with tactics now, Jess.
Unpredictable though. This is a Liverpool fan. They have big up hand.
Yeah, we have, but the problem is that you're trying asking them players to play a different tactic now. Is it dangerous?
He's done it once and we won from it. He's only changed his tactic once, which when he went 4-1-4-1, and we won it.
Would you play two attackers at the same time, Danny?
You see, playing two attackers, that means then you're going to have to go 3-5-2 for me.
That's you.
My child.
You know what I mean? A 3-5-2, that's two central defenders. That means then you're going to play either Cooper or Cresswell in there, or a Byram or a Firpo. 3-5-2. Then is it? I've wanted a 3-5-2 for ages, having a player, any player from that midfield 5, going up and supporting the striker, because that way then teams don't know which player's going to go. Teams don't know which players, you know what I mean? So they don't know which ones to mark and which ones not to mark. But at this time of the season, I don't think it's going to work anyway.
Jamie Wotton, Huddersfield manager's just been sacked.
What, Brighton writer?
Huddersfield, yeah.
Yeah, Brighton writer.
So that plan, what he were going to come with, that gone out of window then?
Has he been
Has he
sacked?
Has it been sacked, though, or is it just talk?
And he's in a certain other YouTuber's podcaster as well, so don't worry about him.
I'll have a look.
Let's have a look.
I'll have a
That's
look.
really
You
nice.
go to what you're talking about. I'll have a look for you.
Huddersfield manager, Brighton writer.
I agree with that, Blinky. I'm not saying the football hasn't been better this season. 100%, Lisa. Big up to you. It has. But in the last 6 games for me, it hasn't been there. Not what we're used to.
I've got a question for you. Bielsa's first season
No,
Right,
don't,
got-
it's still manager.
is what?
It's still manager. Sorry.
Right, so Bielsa's first season, if we'd have gone up then, do you think we'd have been ready for Premier League?
Interesting creaking noise. Oh. Hello.
When we just missed out.
Big up Hoover.
Yeah.
Hi, Goover.
No, Danny. I don't.
Well, the second season when we went up, who was prepared for it?
Yes. I think
So
I think that
maybe this is maybe not going up this season. Maybe you know what I mean. That's where Farke can get the players in that he wants, that he knows will perform in the Premiership.
and an impartial thought on Hoover, the calm head, which not thought at all.
Sorry, hang on. Were you talking to me then?
Yeah.
I've got 2 kids in the background trying to distract me and things. My oldest Owen, he's just been making farting noises to try and get them, try so you can hear it. So you can cut that out. Yeah, talking about the game coming up, obviously, how massive that is. But I think realistically, from my point of view, the gig's already up. I think you're going to be in the playoffs. So I think that at that point of view, in a way, it doesn't affect anything. You should be going into the game full of confidence, trying to win that comfortably, and just take forward that kind of mentality that you're a good side. You've got this far for a reason, and you've got to show it. Come in the playoffs. But as soon as you get in there, it's all about the attitude, isn't it? So the desire, wanting it more than the other team, and showing the guts, determination, and resilience when you need it through those playoff games, because they aren't, as we know, they aren't always going to be the best football in the world, but it will be some of the most passionate and tense games. And it's not always the best team on paper that comes up, as we know. You've got to just be right mentally. Have Leeds got that? I mean, I think everything for me depends on the fitness of Bamford, because I've seen the difference between when he plays and when he doesn't, and it's shocking. It's kind of like we used to be whenever Harry Kane dropped out of the team, and if Son wasn't there, we'd just have nothing. It's amazing how much really good hold-up play helps the team when it comes to being centre forward. I think Bamford's been doing that brilliantly for you. What is his fitness like now? Do you think he's going to be ready for the next few games?
He had a bruised knee, didn't he? So I think the time that he didn't play in the last game and the time that he got off now, I think he could be fit. We'll find out probably tomorrow on press conference anyway. So, but
I think
for
then,
me,
I think then,
he's
does
fit
it? Do you have to have this? Do you have to have this difficult decision of conceding that you're not going to get automatic promotion, and then give Bamford the extra time, just to make sure he's properly ready for the playoffs? Or do you risk him in the last game, just going for it?
for me, I'd risk him, but I don't know about anybody else.
I'd risk him.
I'd risk him as well.
My attitude is this: we should have risked him against QPR.
He couldn't hardly walk, Stu, when he got off the bus. If you look at him, he couldn't hardly walk.
He walked over, but he walked over to away fans perfectly fine, Danny.
Yeah, but well, when he stepped down off the bus, if you look at him, it's like walking in a straight line. He's not like stepping up and down.
Couldn't he have had an injection for pain?
He could have done, but you don't know how deep the bruise was in me. You know what I mean? Everybody's
If it's deep, then he won't be ready for tomorrow.
I think he will be.
If it's a deep bruise, he won't be ready for Saturday.
I think he'll be ready for Saturday.
I don't.
Do it.
No.
Go on, Lee.
For me, it's either go all in or go home.
Same with
Yeah.
me. While you've still got that glimmer of hope.
Well,
you've got
surely that's just regardless of automatic promotion or playoffs. It's still all in, isn't it? You just got to give it.
Yeah. For me, is how we've played the past couple of days. They need to prove to us fans that they can actually play a decent game of football. And I think Saturday is their last chance to prove it before playoffs.
So right, a quick question now for everybody around. If we lose to Southampton, then Stacey, on last game of the season, what chances are you giving us of winning playoffs?
I think we'll get to the finals and we'll fail. But that's just going on previous experience of us in the playoffs.
I think psychologically it's a huge game because if you do go in after losing to Southampton, you're going to be on such a downer that you didn't even give it your all just to get that last win and give yourself every chance for automatic promotion. I think that will carry on through. You're going to be in a slump at that point. And it buoys Southampton. That gets them back on track for winning ways going into playoffs. But I think momentum, they say like when it becomes a cup competition, you forget the rest of it. But momentum does work. It's a psychological thing, isn't it? So I think you just got to win it for many reasons. But give yourself the chance and go in looking like a team that wants to come up, wants to, it's got real fight, determination, some grit in that. And I think you're lacking a bit of that at times. I think there's been too many games in the last, 7 or 8 games where I think the likes of Ampadu and Rodon have been getting you through some games because they've been pretty good as a pairing, and the rest of the team's offered nothing in a lot of games. You've got to find some way of giving a bit of belief through the team. You've got to go and score some goals. That's basically it, isn't it? Look competent going forward, because it hasn't always been the case lately.
We can't finish as dinner. We haven't got somebody that can hit a shot from 25 yards. Ping, go for it. They haven't. Ronnie will tell you. Most of his goals come for tap-ins. I'll be honest. Bamford offers that little bit more for me. I do like Bamford. Just my personal opinion. We look a better team with him playing them.
Somebody has an echo. I don't know who it is, but somebody has an echo.
I'll mute myself a second just to see if it's me.
Where's it gone?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Cuba.
Bye.
Coming on this channel, messing us all up, you know what I mean?
We're already messed up enough as it is, we'll eat.
Yeah. I tell you what this has proved, though, this show has proved. Daniel Farker has got one hell of a job on his hands. He's got one hell of a job getting his players ready to go. He really has. He has. Oh, I wouldn't want to be him. Definitely not. Have Spurs ever been in a position where you've had a poor period during the season and then you've got to rally the troops and then they come good again? Or what I'm trying to say is, I just don't know how you turn this slump on, how you turn form back on again. The form we were in January, February, March. How do you re-find that form in a short space of time?
First of all, if I'll just fix my microphone, hopefully.
Yes.
Yay.
Right, okay, good. Don't know why I defaulted to a different mic. Yeah, fixing form. I mean, if there was an easy way of doing it, then everybody would do it all the time. There'd never be an issue, would it? So, I think sometimes you've got to identify which part of your team is not really living up to expectations. If it's the forwards, I think you just got to get the support in there, be a bit braver, get people into the box, make something happen. Because you only need the ball to fall to the feet of somebody who's not been scoring for a while for them to smash one home. They get a bit of confidence back. So if it was me, I'll just go for it. Go a little bit of the Bielsa spirit. Go a bit gung ho. Really try and get out at Southampton in the final game. Rediscover some of that goal scoring form. I think if you're going to be at full strength and you're looking at Somerville, Gnonto, they're going to be the major threats. I would have thought playing off the centre forward. Get them in on a regular basis, and if they get into the byline a lot, throw some midfielders in there, just bodies in there, get on the end of things, take some chances. I think it's all been way too safe for me, from what I've been seeing anyway. I see it with Spurs all the time. There's a little sort of apprehension about playing the killer through ball, or getting the extra players in there and leaving some gaps. Sometimes your game's got to be about risk. You're supposed to take some chances. You get glory by chancing your arm. You can't play safe all the way to a title, not unless you've got exceptional players, and we've seen that. And some of the great Premiership teams in the past have done it, but not for a Spurs, not for a Leeds. We got to play a different way than that. I think just get those players in, be brave, and run. If you got to have a bit of rub of the green, if you got to chance your arm and take a few chances, and you might get hit on the break. It might happen, but that's what you got to do. I mean, I don't see the point in going in with that negative attitude and sideways passing and hoping something happens. You got to force the issue. Otherwise, what's the point? You just go out in a whimper then.
I think we're the only team in the league where our central midfielders haven't scored.
Interesting. I don't know who's the one player that's most out of form at the moment. Would you say?
Hello.
Right. Well, particularly the last sort of 8 or so games where I've been watching him all closely. Ruta seems to be the one that's dropped off massively for me. And I saw even though I might have been against QPR even, but you can't. No, sorry, not against QPR. What was the 4-3 win? Sunderland, was it?
Middlesbrough.
Sorry, Middlesbrough. Yeah, I saw towards the end of that game. Wow, he suddenly rediscovered that little spark, that little spring in his step towards the end of the game, and he started looking really good, going past players easily. I thought, where's that been? And then it's sort of gone again. It's difficult. It's like I said, if there was, like I said earlier, if you had a magic wand to wave to make players rediscover their form, it would be easy, wouldn't it? But like I said, take some chances. At the end of the day, scoring goals is essential. Get the players up there. You've got to force things sometimes. You can't always do it the pretty way. Sometimes you just got to get players in there, and even if you've got to have a real hack up and hacking fest at trying to slam the ball in a crowded area, you just take whatever you can get.
For me, Coover, would you go, even though there is something on it, would you say to the players, there's nothing on this, go out and enjoy yourself?
Absolutely. All times, yeah. I've always believed that with football anyway. I'll never like it when teams... If you play with fear, you're going to get beat. So I think go out there, express yourself, enjoy yourself, and really have a go. Because I think the fans would take it a lot more easily, wouldn't you? If you see a team absolutely pebble dash the opponent's goal, go hell for leather trying to get these goals in and get a winner out of it. It's easier to take that and fail than sit back and not really do anything. You've got to get the fans on your side as well. I think particularly with a club like Leeds, a roaring home crowd, if you're playing over 2 legs, that home game becomes so important. You got to give them something. Give the fans a bone, and they'll roar the team on. You get that extra man that you're always looking for. But I think we've been way too negative. It's shown at times. Although Middlesbrough game was a bit different, wasn't it? It was a bit of a sloppy game, but I kind of thought it was needed. It's getting the goals means everything. If your forwards are struggling, just get more people in helping them.
Hello, my lovelies.
And your fault?
I went back and watched a few of the better games this season. I went and watched the Millwall game. I went and watched the couple against Leicester. I went and watched the couple against Ipswich. And the thing that seems to be missing the last few weeks, and it was present against Middlesbrough, it absolutely wasn't present against QPR, is there needs to be a committal to go in and force their players to make mistakes. When we're passing the ball, it's predictable. I think, and the Liverpool fan said it earlier on, it's predictable. I'm watching games and I'm telegraphing 3 passes ahead. And if me, a non-professional just watching from the sideline, is predicting 3 passes ahead before it happens, then what is a professional defender looking at? Oh, it's going there, there, there. We know this. Most of Leeds' greatest chances come from when they pressure opponents and the ball drops unpredictably. It's the only place where we are unpredictable is when we can take an opposing team by surprise.
I'm back now.
And we need, it's not so much the tactic that's wrong, it needs just more commitment, and it needs more, it just needs more creative thinking. Simple, pass, move, pass, move, pass, move. We're trying the long ball too much, and we give away possession too easily. For me, we just need to simplify it, slow the game down to our pace, and control the possession. But once we're controlling that possession, actually do something with it. Make the runs that suck the defenders away. Create the gaps. That's what Leeds United need. As for Southampton at the weekend, personally, I think it should make the only person that should be that's going to be affected by the result is the fan watching at home. We're still in the playoff. We're not going to lose that. So let's see how Leeds play without the pressure on them. But I don't think how we play against Southampton is going to have any bearing on how we perform in the playoffs. That's my own opinion. I just thought I'd come on and share that because it would take a lot of text for me to write all that.
Difficult to in comments section sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. There was something else I was going to point out as well against QPR. I didn't think Leeds were doing that bad at pressing. It's just QPR; they were unreal. They were so quick at their passing movements. It was instant, short range passing, and it was just one touch and ping. It was almost like watching a Pep Guardiola team. They just looked like a Premiership team. They were that good. And I thought, had you really done anything badly in that game? And I thought, from that point of view, no. I didn't understand where QPR got this from, this way of playing. They looked so good. If you can find a bit of that for yourselves, you'd be well away. Because I think there's talent there. I think, outside the Premiership, people are looking at you know yourselves, Gray, Somerville. These are names that are coming up for other teams to have a look at. If you don't get promoted, you're surely going to be selling some of these.
Yeah.
And I think they will go quite comfortably into the Premiership, some of them. Getting them into the game seems to be the problem, though, doesn't it? Quite often You've got kind of aimless attacks, waves of aimless attacks. You'll see one or two of them dribbling with the ball up the pitch. The support isn't there. Yeah, I don't know. There's problems. There's problems. Squad depth has got to be a big issue as well. You've talked about it already, I know.
I'm going to read a quick stat out for you. Possessions 35%, 65%. Guess who had the 35% against Middlesbrough?
Leeds.
Leeds.
This is where it gets wild. We had 7 shots in that game. 5 of them were on target. We don't often do that.
Contrast that against the Blackburn game where we enjoyed 73% possession and couldn't do anything with it.
But if you look at the stats over the season, if Leeds United have let a team have more possession, we've won more games.
All I know is we need to come out like Coventry did against Ipswich. They were up for it. That's what we need from Leeds. We need the players to come out, show they're up for the game.
I don't even think that we need to come out like Coventry. I think we need to come out like Leeds United against Millwall or Leeds United against Huddersfield, the early days of the season where we were
and what about
taking it and dominating it in 15 minutes.
Oh no, sorry, Hull. Sorry. Hull was with Ipswich. That's the one I meant. That determination. Hull never, it's like as soon as Ipswich scored, Hull scored. And it was back and forth. That kind of gameplay, that kind of passion is what we need to get back at Leeds United.
Exactly. You look at last night, you two were going mad when Cov scored, right? But they didn't panic, Stu. They were quite composed. They went up the other end and scored, and were very professional in their job. Leeds have like that for me.
Yep. And we just, I think for me, international duty has killed us off somehow. Excuse me, especially the Welsh players anyway, because penalty shootout and DJ missing that pen has not their confidence bad.
At certain points of the season, Leeds United have been clinical. They've been able to come back from being a goal down or whatever. Leeds United needs to be Leeds United. Dirty Leeds at all costs, win that ball and get the hell back up there. You know, like we can look at other teams and say we should be playing like these guys. We should be doing what they did. There's a reason that we are third in the league, and that reason is throughout the season we were clinical. We had that form. All we have to do is find that mentality again. Not a hell of a lot has changed. It's only little things. They just need to be a bit more committed. And I think, you know, teams like Southampton, we should, with no pressure, I predict to win against Southampton at the weekend, and hopefully a statement of intent for, you know, going ahead to the playoffs.
I think that's the only way we can approach it. I think you're right. I think we have to show intent going in the Southampton game. We have to. If we don't show, you know, if we don't show that against Southampton in the league match, there's a strong possibility that we could play Southampton in playoff final if we get there.
I think as it stands, we play West Brom, right? It's the
playoffs,
fifth, fourth, fifth.
Yeah.
At the minute, Hull could just sneak in there. West Brom have got Preston. Plymouth have got Hull. All the way.
Personally, I'd prefer to play West Brom than I would after watching Hull against Ipswich. I want West Brom.
I thought that game when we played Hull, we got that 3-1 win, Stu. I thought that flattered Leeds. Just my personal opinion. But I did.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the way. Look, they were pushing for equaliser when it was 2-1. They pushed their keeper up for that corner.
Yeah.
You know, we just caught them on the break, and it was a brilliant finish by Dan James. That's what made it 3-1. 3-1. That, you know what I mean? Have we been lucky in some games we've played, though, guys, as well? You know, when we've got results, have we been lucky to get the results, or have we? You know what you know what I mean, Jess? Have we been lucky?
Over the course of a season, it's you know, you got to say it's a balanced kind of reflection of things, isn't it? I think there's some games where you've dominated and not got a result out of it, and you'd say that's unlucky. But I mean, other times, you know, like you said, you give up all the possession, only have 7 chances, but you know, 5 on target, and you put 3 or 4 away of them. It suddenly looks a different sort of game. It's interesting that stat about possession affecting how your results have gone. It does kind of add up, because if you look at your forward line, there's a lot of pace in the flanks, isn't there? So sitting back and holding a really solid shape, and then breaking forward with that kind of pace, catch the other team off guard. I can see why that works. You can say the same thing about Spurs. I keep saying this all season. There are such similarities between our sides at the moment. It's that disappointing forward play letting you down. We got exactly the same. Can have all the possession in the world and not do much with it. But if we get forced back and we're giving up all the possession, we hit on the break and we look all right for it. It seems to be the same with you then. How do you force the opposition to play like that? If they don't want to play that sort of game, they can sit back as well, maybe play for penalties. But that'll be a bit odd. You don't see that very often. How do Leeds really get the best out of the players? Difficult one. We can all sit around for ages stroking our chins and what's the real solution there? There's no obvious one, is there?
No.
What do we think? Stu, playoffs?
What do I think playoffs? After 100%, 100% playoffs, yeah.
Danny?
I hope I'm wrong, but I believe I'm 100% sure that it will be in playoffs.
Yeah, I think playoffs, but while we've still got that glimmer of hope, I'm not letting it die yet. But yeah, playoffs.
Coover as the impartial. What's your thoughts? Playoffs, or do we get up on Saturday?
Nah, big playoffs. I can't. I just cannot see Huddersfield winning. You know, if Huddersfield had to get a draw or something to help you get into the playoffs, help you get promotion, that's possible. But to actually win is something else, isn't it? I think you sort of resigned to it now. I disagree about it being a complete mentality reset when you get to the playoffs, though. I think winning that final game against Southampton does matter. I think it matters psychologically for the team. You've got to go into those playoffs believing you can score goals, believing that you can beat teams. If you go in really off form and, deflated from not getting that automatic promotion, I think that's going to work against you big time. Especially with a team that, supposing it is West Brom. On paper, West Brom are on a dreadful run of form at the moment. It would be a good time to play them. But if they're also seeing you not winning and you failing to get that promotion spot, they might be thinking, well, this isn't the Leeds from earlier in the season. We've got a good chance here. It might work against you. Yes, I definitely do see playoffs. And to be honest, I'm a little bit fearful for you.
Me too.
I agree. I see playoffs, but I don't know. There's like the slight glimmer in my head. This maybe call it a fan's optimism that it's, it'll be Ipswich's third game in a week, in less than a week. So there is part of me that thinks, have they finally tired out? Because a lot of people, when Leeds played QPR, nobody would have given QPR a 4-0 win against Leeds. Nobody, not even QPR fans, would have predicted it, in my view. And I think Huddersfield find themselves in that same situation. Can they do it? I don't think so. But there's still that glimmer of hope. It's still possible. Kind of.
I think if Huddersfield say they needed to win and overturn a 3-goal deficit to stay up, that would be game on. I think they'd be well up for it. But realistically, they got no chance of staying up, have they? They've got to get like a swing 15-goal deficit or something like that.
Wow.
It's just not happening.
I didn't realise their situation was so dire.
Yeah. The points bit they can catch up, but that goal deficit, no chance.
But I definitely agree that Southampton has to be a statement of intent to show that we can do this. And yes, I agree, it will be through the playoff. How far we get? Honestly, I think I'm not drunk, Scooby. What time is it? I should be, but no. No, I think I'm one of those that I think if we get through the semi-final, I think we can win the final. That's my own opinion. It's just finding your feet, getting the confidence, and it'll be over 2 legs. Is it still 2 legs? The playoff, yeah. So 2 legs. As long as we bring it at Elland Road and bring it at the Hawthorns, we'll bring it at Wembley. So, yeah, positivity.
But you were positivity on that QPR watch on Friday. Look what happened by the end of it. You went off.
Wasn't my fault. It wasn't like that was Leeds' fault. That wasn't my fault. I was trying to be positive.
Okay, that's what it does for you. Big up, man. Me.
At this point, despite the last game, still positive.
Big up Ben as well. It's his birthday today, boy.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ben.
Happy birthday, mate. Happy birthday, mate.
Happy 18th. Then.
Well, that's why he grows his beard, so we don't really guess his age.
How old is he? 29.
Yeah.
Don't look it, does it?
Didn't he say he was
Yeah.
29?
Don't look it.
Old. I think we'll get to final and lose.
That'll be devastated. That'll be devastated if that happens.
But didn't that happen with Bielsa though?
No, we lost to Derby.
We lost to Donny in League One playoff.
Yeah, but under Bielsa we lost to Derby, didn't we? We had that commanding lead as well. We wiped floor with them at their ground. It all went wrong at Elland Road. I'm sure it was that game where I think it was Kiko Casilla who made that mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, sticks in your mind.
Was that the Derby game that they tried to do Bielsa for spying or something?
No, that was time we played them before.
Or was that in the league? Okay.
Zach.
I think another what sort of doubles down on me saying it's so important to win against Southampton is that could well be who you face in the final if you get that. So you're not going to want them suddenly thinking, oh, we've done the hard part. We already know we can beat Leeds. They're going to be so confident about that. They're going to look at you travelling away from home and saying, look at that sort of QPR result. Are you going to, how are they going to be Leeds on the road? Not a big deal for them. So you really need to put them in their place. I really do think so. It's really important. Norwich still look like that dangerous team. Nobody's been talking about them for a long time.
I said to me old girl, right, and you can ask her. I know she won't come on stream. I said Norwich. I said, have I spoke to you about it, Stu? I said Norwich. I fancy him. Wagner's decent, Stu. I like Wagner. I think he's a good manager, and I know they've paid him already. I understand that. Playoffs is a totally different kettle of fish. Form goes out window. The fixtures that have gone in the season, it just goes out window. You can't say that. Some leads, oh, well, if we get whatever. We've beat them already. That were then. This is now. Have to be real with it. Big up,
absolutely no pressure on Norwich as well, isn't there? Because
exactly.
They're guaranteed playoff place. Nobody's talking about them. No expectations.
Exactly.
That's the kind of team takes their chance, isn't it? Yeah.
We're talking about Leeds, Coover. Sometimes it's better to not be talked about. I will say that. No pressure.
I will hold you to that, Mr. Tom.
Yep, so will I.
But if it's okay, can I be there with you to put Mentos on your head first? Because I think that'd be a spectacle.
Absolutely.
Do you know there's another thing as well, Cooper? If Southampton get 3 points against us on Saturday, they will have done the double on us this season. We lost to them away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that kind of like I said, psychology is a big thing. Come to these crunch matches. If somebody knows they've got the better of you, it just gives them that sort of spring in their step, the more belief in what they're doing. If you feel like you've already lost to them twice, how are you going to get a result out of it? Those nerves will be there from the start. It's really important. It's not so much. It's not a statement to everybody else, but it's just getting that bit of self-belief, isn't it, with that final day win. And then, regardless of what Ipswich do, you can say, we won our last game. That's all we could have done. And bring that forward. Just take whatever's coming. You just got to start looking like the team you were earlier in the season, basically. That's all there is to it.
I agree. I do.
Yep.
Me too.
It's weird though, I'll tell you. As a supposedly as a neutral, I feel so nervous about this game for you and the playoffs. I really do.
I think you should join us for watch along, Coover.
Oh, I can't. I hate doing watch alongs. If I'm emotionally invested in a side and watching doing a watch along, I'm not going to behave properly.
And we do.
We do.
We do. No.
I am prone to dropping a few C bombs and things when things aren't going.
Other people don't when they're coming here. John Garside, I'll say no more.
Post watershed, yes. Post watershed.
What I will say though is Spurs have got 4 games left, and I'm just not bothered about any of them. But I look at the playoffs coming up and Leeds, and I'm just really looking forward to it. There's got to be something on the line. It always makes matches better when there's something really up for grabs. And what bigger prize can there be for a championship side than to come up to the Premiership? You've been there before. You belong in the Premiership. On the brink of throwing it away, maybe. Got to grab it back. Bit of drama, bit of excitement. Love it.
Are you back to your toys again, Cooper, this season from now on in them?
No, not quite that bad. I'm just, the Spurs with the running. We can't win the league. I'm not bothered if we get Champions League or Europa. It doesn't really make much difference. So what are we playing for? I don't think Spurs have got anything really to offer that I'm not expecting now. So I'm just waiting for the summer and the transfer window. That's the only bit I'm really going to get any sort of confidence in what we're doing. But for you, it's different. For you, it's the moment. It's right now. So it makes it a better watch for me anyway.
Well, I've been, as you know, Cooper, I mean, we Spurs community, right? And I can't believe how quick people are starting to turn on Ange.
Oh, I can. We've always had a fan base where Some people will lose their minds the moment we can see the throw in a game. It really is like that. It's always been the same. It's a running joke amongst Spurs fans as well. We've always said we're the roller coaster club. When we're on a high, it's the best thing in the world. But the moment you come off that high, plummet down, you go, worst team in the world. We're going to get relegated. Oh my God, sack everyone.
That's Leeds.
That's just standard, isn't it? I think that's just being a fan anywhere, really.
You're going to get so much bit more scored out Leeds fans this season, I'm telling you now. I can't wait for that Guard of Honour on Saturday, Danny.
No, neither can I.
Only card of honor, that only card of honor he's going to get is a picture sent from me.
Yes, Stu.
I'm going to get one. I'm going to get a picture drawn up for it. So yeah, I'll get it drawn up. Don't you worry.
Are you showing it live?
Who was the?
I'm going to do it. Of course I am. I've got controls on it.
Oh, message me on WhatsApp and let me know I'll be in watching.
Me too.
Who was the Spurs manager before? I'm not even going to attempt it.
Ange. I'll put you up
Yeah,
there.
him.
Which tip
Who was the one before?
Conte.
Conte.
Nathan.
That's the thing. I liked Conte. I thought, given time, he would have probably been the man to do the job. What did he do? He ended up sort of bad. He said something about the players need better attitude or something.
Yeah,
It's
always been the problem
for it.
It's been the problem at our. Sorry, go on.
No, I thought he was right. That was the thing. I couldn't believe he'd been sacked for it.
Is that what he got sacked for?
Yeah.
No, he went no, but he laid into Levy. He laid into everybody. He did. Look, there's some things the fan base loved it, but there's some things you just can't say. You know, you've got to. You're employed by Tottenham, whether people like to hear that or not. You're employed by Daniel Levy. And to say stuff like what Conte said, although it were right, you can't say that in a public press conference. You just can't.
To me, I just looked at it and thought, that's so punk rock.
Brilliant.
That was.
How do you feel about what that press conference could?
Just there, stick it to the man, Conte. Come on, Antonio.
Sorry, the press conference.
Yeah, do you think he went too far, Conte, Cooper?
No, I think a lot of fans, myself included, just thought he's telling some really harsh truths here. We're a club that doesn't really have ambition, and it's been that way for a long time now. I'll even go as far as to say not even all down to ENIC and Levy. It was kind of like that under Sugar as well. We recovered from that period in the 90s where we nearly went bust. Sugar rescued us, and the club just hasn't been the same since. Couple of League Cups in 30 years for a club of Spurs size is shocking. It really is. And I think we've just built this whole aura around the club now of everything's, it doesn't really matter too much. Just be friends, can all sit around the same dinner tables with the chairman, and everybody's friendly with each other. There's no real issue with anything. And you get these little cliques where the players can get more power than the manager all the time. And I'm thinking, this isn't what football used to be like. You used to have the chairman's door at the end of the corridor was like this. It's like this place of power. You fear it. The manager's door, you should have fear in that. Players should be desperate to please the manager just to stay in the team. Whereas nowadays we get managers coming in and people will say, "Oh, you've got to play this player, you've got to play that player," and the manager's having to bend to the will of players' egos. It's not right. So you get some of these managers that do come in, the Contes, the Mourinhos, say it how it is, and it kicks off because the players having it all nice and cushy, nice little comfortable lifestyle, expecting to be performing to peak of their potential at each game and giving it everything, and they don't want to really. It's too easy not to. There's no repercussions on anything. So I think it hasn't really mattered for years now which manager comes in. The club is not going to provide what they need, and I don't think there's an overall desire to do anything. And at every club, the real drive from where you're going to go as a club, it doesn't come from the fans, it doesn't come from the players or the manager. It's the owners. If the owners set out what they expect from things, it's up to them to put it right. You get the manager in that drives your ambitions. Then you get the backroom staff in that drive your ambitions. The fans will get behind it if they see it. The fans are kind of irrelevant in a way. You've got to have all these things in place and mean what you're doing. Actually have that ambition. People will get on board with it. Fans will always react to whatever they're seeing on the pitch. More and more so what you see off the pitch as well nowadays because of social media and just this whole spotlight on all parts of a club all the time. I think things have gone backward now. When, I go back 30, 40 years, 40 years even, you wouldn't even know who the chairman was of a club. Now all the time, he's in the headlines all the time, Daniel Levy. I mean, before Irving Scholar took over at Spurs, I didn't know who the chairman was. No idea. Couldn't tell you. It's just not an issue. Shouldn't be in the news whatsoever. And now they become a focal point. So now you get fans defending a chairman while other fans attack them. Division within the club. And it's not even based on the football anymore. It's based on the bloody ownership.
Yeah. I mean, I felt that... I felt that Conte was an example of one of those managers that, in hindsight, I sometimes think that there's a lot of managers that you see going in and out very quickly that you think, well, if that person had had more time, he might have achieved something. And I think Conte, for me, is probably the most recent of those. I think, given a few more seasons, I think he may have achieved something.
Yeah, I think that's what
Something
basically that outburst in the press conference was all about. He knows what he needs to achieve, and he's basically saying the club needs to decide what it wants to do. Do they want to be a 7th place team, 6th, 5th? Do they want to win things? Because he doesn't believe that they have the ambition that he does. It was really clear, and so many of our fans saw that for what it was. I can't believe more fans haven't turned on the chairman after that. I really can't. You're talking about a top quality manager calling your club out while he's manager because they lack what he's used to. He wants to win things. You can apply that to a lot of clubs doing the same thing, though. They might not realise it, but PR departments do what they do, turn the fans into almost the zombie type paying punters. As long as the money's coming in from fans, they don't care. Get the club in a safe position and just turn off. Don't bother needing to invest anymore. Just milk it for what it is. That's what we've been doing for a long time. It's what I hope doesn't happen for your club as well. I think you've gone to the extreme of the days when you're buying up more than you should be and getting into financial trouble.
Yeah,
I think you're on a very sensible kind of ground at the moment. It looks like you're being very realistic about what you can afford on things. It's going to hamper you a bit, but it's a lot better than having somebody coming in whose ambition is to develop the local area and then live off the proceeds while you sit there in limbo season after season. Doesn't matter if you're back in the Premiership. It'd be nice to get back in the Premiership, but if you know you're locked into finishing 8th, 9th, 10th, season after season after season for the next 20 years, that's not a fun place to be. I mean, you ask a Palace fan what they want. They want to see a little bit, don't they? Yeah. And with all due respect, Leeds should be a much bigger club than the likes of Palace. We're talking about some of the legendary teams of years gone by, aren't we? The Don Revie side, for example. So, people still talk about it. That's the kind of standards that should be at this club.
Yeah. One of my earliest memories of your team, Tottenham, is the '91 FA Cup. That team of Gascoigne, Lineker, who was the other one? Naeem. Why do I remember Naeem? He's the one that lobbed Seaman from 50 yards. I remember now.
That's right.
But
and we
Tottenham
love him.
Always had exciting team throughout the 90s. Didn't do much, but always had an exciting team. It's the same with Leeds. You're actually not so far off with the parallel between us. You can pick out a 90s Leeds side and they're exciting to watch. They don't really do anything, but they're exciting to watch. It's the same with Tottenham for me. Always a good watch.
Yeah, that's striking similarities between the clubs. I've found that for a long time now. However, I'm disappointed in you, Puppy. I'm disappointed in you, Puppy. You didn't pick up on something you said about lobbing Seaman from 50 yards. That's quite impressive in my book.
I did. I said, wasn't he the guy that lobbed Seaman from 50 yards?
No. You're not listening with smutty enough ears.
Sorry,
you won't be thinking smutty enough.
Keep it clean.
No, that Lee's not sort that.
Oh,
Lee's gone. It's all right.
You know that Lee's not sort that. It's fine.
Lee's had enough of us being serious. That's it. He's done.
His little bit, didn't he, Stuart? Start. That's his little bit.
Yeah.
Like
He's a man of few words, but very talented. And if he gets bored, he's not frightened to let me know. He'll just get up and go.
It is.
So, Danny, do you think we're going to win playoffs if we finish in playoffs? Are we going to win the playoffs?
No.
A guard of honour, Danny.
I don't know. I don't know how Southampton are going to get over to Leicester at 12:30 and be at Leeds at the same time to give Leicester the guard of honour.
Well, we were called out for this. We're delusional. I don't
There's
think.
still a possibility that we might get promoted, but I doubt it. Not on Saturday anyway.
But not with a guard of honour, Stuart. And not as champions neither, Stuart.
We can pretend.
I'm gonna go with what I know from early 90s sports films. The Little Giants, Adam Sandler and the Waterboy, and the Mighty Ducks. They always have to go through I can swear now, a metric fuck ton of adversity, and they come out, with the win at the end. That metric fuck ton of adversity is just the suspense before we get the fairy tale ending. So, I'm going with the Mighty Ducks logic. Come on. At the end of it, Emilio Estevez will be hugging all the players and seeing them off to college and shit.
the thing is, right, how are we going to react if that little glimmer of hope, that tiny little sliver of hope we've got, actually does come true?
It's not a tiny glimmer of hope. I believe if we turn up, we can beat anybody in that playoff.
It's all right us saying if we beat Southampton, it's all down to Ipswich Huddersfield. Even if we win and Ipswich win, we're still in the playoffs.
That's
when that tiny bit of hope is that Ipswich lose and we win. It's that
There's
tiny little bit of hope.
There's something I brought up in your comments last night, and I'm thinking back to when Man City won their first Premiership title, and when Mancini was in charge. Final game of the season, they had that incredible Aguero moment with the last-minute winner, but they were playing a QPR side who were on the brink of relegation, and QPR went to Man City's own backyard and gave them a hell of a game. They really, really went for it. They could so easily come away with all 3 points. So do Huddersfield have them in it? Have it in them to do what QPR did? Take the game to the opposition, and they know they're going down, but go down with a bit of pride, a bit of fight, and showing a bit of proper Yorkshire, if you like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but if Leeds beat Southampton 4-0 and Huddersfield somehow beat Ipswich 1-0, I will lob Seaman from 50 yards.
That's a good pretty
There we
picture,
go. I
isn't
did
it?
something with it finally.
I'll tell you
If
what,
that
though,
happens, my leg will grow back.
Jess,
Then we
Jess
should
and
be
Steve,
hoping for this to happen, surely.
Miracle.
Stu, if Leeds manage to go up, right, and Huddersfield do the
Inevitable.
Think about
and Leeds go up, we're meeting at Ellen Road.
Yeah. We're
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
hell. I think we're going to get Stewie Bradford and wheeling round fucking Ellen Road. Put the quiz on Saturday night. We're partying.
So look,
That's all right.
you'll have to get in the dingle van.
We'll have to go and get it in Shag Van, Dingle Van.
Yeah,
Whatever. The quiz. We're off to Ellen Road.
Bradford are doing a lot of road
Hospital
work.
as well,
They'll
you
nick some
know.
of their ramps,
You
what they
won't
use
know
for
that.
craft. We'll nick some of them to put up like a dingle van.
Yeah. And the blind pit pony.
Probably hot, Jen.
There's wrestling watch on. We'll give him streamers
Like
that
you
we're partying this side. We'll even go get over.
That's going to be a long day for me. The Leeds game, Backlash, and oh god, we're doing a lot on Saturday, aren't we? It's a
You
long
are.
fucking
Leeds
day.
are promoted. We're dipping out, Danny and Stacey. We're off to party. You're running it. You and Russell. You know you're wrestling.
Russell.
You got Russell.
All
Oh,
right.
I think Russell's planted to do GTA in it.
Is he going live?
I'm assuming so with that comment.
He's like,
Put your link. Make sure you put your link in, then I can come over. Is he live? I'll whack it on.
That's a good job. Look at me going live then. Do the quiz
So, yeah.
for Daniel's book.
so come 3 o'clock. Come 3 o'clock on Saturday, we all heading to Ellen Road. If
Yeah.
it works out.
Russell loves that for me.
Wait for him to comment. Will I? You
If
better.
Leeds get promoted on Saturday, you know, come full time whistle. Forget it. Forget what other channel. Forget what any channel I'm on. I'm coming straight off that. I'm coming over.
I
Oh, we
No,
know
have you
Ellen
gone?
Road.
I'll be gone. I'll be over like a shot, Jeff. Don't you worry about that.
I'm opening so Stuart.
Could
Gary,
you
we
just imagine
know they are relegated. We know that, but like Cooper's just said, they're gonna want to go down with a bang. They're gonna go down with some pride. You know,
Could you
at
just
least we're
imagine-
relegated, but at least we went down fighting.
Could you just imagine? Our game's already finished. There's 2 minutes to go. That Huddersfield game. Huddersfield are 1-0 up. As soon as that final whistle goes, Jesse Stream just goes down. We all disappear.
You will see me go.
That's not exactly what's going to happen, really, because if Leeds get promoted on Saturday, all the chat is going to be left with is suddenly everybody pops out and I'm just sat on my own watching wrestling. Like,
Yeah, that's it. You sat there watching wrestling.
We're taking you with us, John.
Yep.
You're our bodyguard.
Yeah, John, you can get me to front of queue.
Just drop the C word. That's it. You're there.
Yeah, but John, it's all right saying we've got no chance of getting anywhere near Ellen Road. If Leeds get promoted, they're all on about meeting at Millennium Square, which half of them will be there and half of them will be at Ellen Road. So we'll just go Ellen Road, innit?
Go Millennium Square instead.
I don't know. I've not been to one of these when we're celebrating at the ground. Like, if you've only got one leg, then you can get to the front of the queue at Alton Towers and ride the rides first. So why don't you just treat the celebration like the Rubber Dinghy Rapids and just go like, hey, disabled card and just like take the party to the front? That's how you do it.
Table badge.
Works at Primark,
I win.
mate. Works at Primark, mate. Trust me.
I'll go pick Carol up and all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pick us all up.
We aren't messing, Carol. We're being serious. I'm coming
Serious,
to have
Carol?
it.
Go,
You
don't you know, pump it up. The white
Okay, don't-
you freaking here.
Don't worry, I'll just sit here and hold the fort.
Don't worry, we were planning on you doing that anyway.
2019, we went up literally. I'm watching the final match to find out if we were going to get promoted champions. I had literally, as soon as that whistle had gone, I went absolutely scatty. Brother goes, "Oh, I'm going down at an order and I'll meet you there." Trainers, Uber taxi, booked, I was gone. I'm like, bye.
Yeah. It was like that night when we lifted cup on bus and I was down there and I got it with a firework.
I missed that one.
Something else about this promotion
cool.
race. There's something else about the promotion race I was thinking of the other day. What's it going to be like next season comparing if you don't come up and you're looking at transfers as how do we patch things up to have a competitive team for the next season compared to if you do go up and then you're looking at transfers of how do you stay in the Premiership? It's such a big difference, isn't it? Just
the 49ers have come out and said if we get promoted, they're going to reject every single bid for all the top players. They're not selling.
Yeah, good stuff.
But if we don't get promoted, Cuba, I think we'll see a massive exodus of players wanting to leave.
Oh yeah.
I only see 2 or 3 going, Stu. I don't see that many going.
No way. Look, you're telling me that Bayern Munich come knocking on door and say we want Archie Gray, and Archie Gray is going to say one season in another season in Championship or a season with potential Champions League.
But I'd look at it this way: if I were Archie Gray, I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm at Leeds United here. I'll be getting the start next season. Would I at Bayern Munich? No.
Oh, sorry for swearing, but holy shit!
It's raining here.
I've just checked my youth. Wait,
65.
I've got 65.
I
was only fucking 48 up yesterday. What the heck?
Since I put you on my community page like I have been with Stu and Lee.
What?
At least you can know we can live stream on Board.
I bet I'm still on 33.
I haven't yet.
What?
Your word.
No. I'm shocked. That's all. I expected that.
In terms of players going though, if you don't go up, surely it's only Somerville and Gray that are going to be massively in demand.
Yeah.
I mean, no, all due respect to the rest of the team, but I can't see teams
Nonto
fighting over it. Oh, Nonto, yeah. Where's
I only see Somerville and Nonto.
Is he on loan at the moment, or is he as permanent signing for you at the moment?
Oh.
Nonto, yeah.
No. Even dogs agree.
Permanent signing.
Yeah. And he's not signed that new deal yet.
Right. I mean, it's all under it's all up in the air then, isn't it? Like I said, that's what makes it so massive for you. You got it'll be such a big boost to the club going up for such obvious reasons. But I think failing to go up, it's really going to hit hard, isn't it? We had this conversation earlier, a few weeks ago. I think if that's the case, you're going to have to look at really clever loan signings to get you through a season.
I agree.
Sorry. Who do you support, mate?
See, the problem is not Coover. Archie Gray, because of this Gray dynasty of Leeds, it frightens the Leeds fans to death, mentioning that there's a possibility that he's going to leave Leeds. But one day that's going to happen anyway. We can't keep a player of Archie Gray's calibre at Leeds United when big clubs come sniffing around him. We just can't. We've got to be realistic. It's like the days of Tottenham thinking that Harry Kane were one of your own. There were a point in his season where he was going to leave Tottenham. It happens to them all.
Yeah.
When
even Man United had to release Ronaldo, didn't they? For Madrid coming for him.
Yeah.
very few clubs that can turn everything down.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't think it's something to be worried about, provided that we have Fark in charge. To be honest, because if you look at the terrible decisions made by somebody like Jesse Marsh at the helm, that made the drop to the that made the drop to the championship, or a potential drop, more worrying if Marsh was at the helm. With someone like Farker, I believe that, it's not like if these people leave the club that we can't attract somebody else. I think
You don't attract them, Puppy, but it depends on the financial situation, doesn't it?
Yes, but I think the financial situation, we were saying,
What you say, Jess?
we were saying not too long ago that with assets like Somerville and Gray and whoever, we would easily, with only losing a couple of players, we could give them for that amount of money and be debt free. So I don't see too much issue. Even if we don't go up, I believe we will still attract players, and there's the right man in charge to buy them.
Yeah, we'll attract players when we've sold players. There's no way if Leeds don't go up this season, they keep that same squad. That is just my personal.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's not like we're going to attract good talent.
Leeds say like Somerville and say, just for argument's sake, Wilfred not all right. We know Rodney's going to go back to Tottenham. We know Anthony's going to go back to Tottenham. We know Ayling's going to probably be released from his contract. Same with Cooper. The Vader will be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he might sell. Might have to sell. He might not have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Would they invest that money back in that squad? Not all of it, no, the paid debt stuff. But yeah, it would get a bit of money, and it probably would end up being that we have a better squad with a bigger capability next season. For me, I just want to get back into the Prem. I really do. I'll be absolutely heartbroken on. I'd love to go up on Saturday. Realistically, I don't think it'll happen. But I've got that hope like Danny. And I would go to Welland Road and, go down there and party. Playoffs, if we got to the final and we fell at the final hurdle, I'd be fucking heartbroken. I won't make my bones about it. I really, really won't. And I know for this 4-year contract, 2-year progression, I totally understand that. I do get that. Because we've smelt it and been so close. For me, I'd be heartbroken. I would.
Yeah. And you'd be right to be, but what I was trying to say is that if it doesn't go our way, we will have to lose players, but it's not that I don't see us in too bad of a position should the worst happen. Yes, we're going to lose a lot of top talent, but I still believe and I still have faith that with somebody like Fark in charge, we are still going to, we will still be able to bring in a decent and competitive squad for next season if needed. I believe that.
That's the next question, though, Poppy, isn't it? If you don't go up, will Farke stay?
Is it?
Yeah, the 49ers have already said that they're not getting rid of him.
Oh.
I believe he will still be our manager next season. It's the one thing that we are certain of, I think.
Right. So,
if he sees a lot of key players leaving, though, he might just think, I can't do anything with this now.
I'm so keeping that.
I'm going to, because that's my next question, Cooper. Right?
I still think that, honestly, a lot of the signings, for instance, Rutter has been bipolar as anything. When he's great, but when he's not,
what we're going to be stuck with.
I think Fark would probably relish the opportunity to rebuild things his way from scratch, his team, his build, as it were. It's his time to play Football Manager.
Yeah, it could be. I haven't seen enough of him as a manager, to be honest. In terms of, I think your best route forward if you don't go up is going to be bringing through youngsters and getting a Bielsa type manager that just gets the best out of them,
Yes,
allows them to make mistakes and go crazy.
Yes, but based upon how well he built Norwich, if you look at Norwich when he arrived to when he left, he completely just ripped it out and and rebuilt and restored them. And if the worst comes to the worst, I'm not saying it will, but if the worst comes to the worst, I believe he'll be the man to rebuild, and he will have success with that rebuild. I have every faith in that.
Yeah, he's definitely a good manager. I'll rate him as well. I'm just thinking circumstances. You know, if the team he's got at the moment, he's thinking I can add these players here and here, and I could possibly build something if I get into the Premiership. But if you rip the heart out of this team as well, that could have a demoralising effect on him. He might think, I can't go any further here. I've got to have something a bit more to get my teeth into. I really fear for you if you don't go up. I really do.
I think very similarly when we came down, there was that point at the beginning of the season where it looked like Gnonto would leave. You know, like he refused to play one game, didn't he? And then there was the Sinistera issue. And I genuinely think that it was probably down to somebody like Fark sitting him down and saying, hey, you do the job for me this season. You do your job, you work hard, and I promise you I'll get you the best move possible.
Right. So
I think that he can, you know, I think next season, if we have to lose players, I think he's a good man manager. I think he will build a team that is worthy of being, you know, competitive again in a short amount of time. I don't believe it's going to be 16 years of wallowing again. That's not going to happen. I would say if we don't get promoted this season, I would say within 3, we'll be back.
Stu's a question there. Do you want to know? Malk's asking out.
I've seen him about. He's on. He goes on Leicester Fan TV a lot, Malk. You can find him on there, mate. Right, but my point is this, though, guys. Right? Gnonto, is he Premier League quality?
It was the best team, the best player that we had in that Premiership time when we were there. Yeah.
Somerville, is he Premier League quality?
He's been there, done it.
Bench.
Right.
If he can learn when to release the ball and not always be gunning for that curled shot into the far corner, then he could be top quality. Once he learns that one little thing, I think he could be quality.
So right, they're the 2 players most likely to be sold, Gnonto and Somerville. Right? Well, if we couldn't go up with the potential Premier League quality, and we sell them players, for us to be better than what we are now, you need to bring in 2 players of similar quality. Because if we don't go up this season with them in it, next season we need to find 2 players who are better than Somerville and Gnonto. Now, my problem is with this is how is a Championship club going to attract Premiership quality players at a snip of the price of what you'd pay if you're a Premiership club?
Yeah, but it's not always Premiership quality. Stu, there's players down in the lower leagues. Look at Jamie Vardy, where he's come from.
I think if you go, that you could go to the academies anywhere in Europe and pick up some good prodigies, dirt cheap, and offer them the experience at a high level. You know, the Championship might be the second tier of English, but I would wager most Championship sides against first tier sides in a lot of countries.
Because I think the first season you get relegated from
Yes.
Premier League is the best time is your best opportunity to get promoted back to Premier League.
Mhm.
Now, if you lose if we lose, I don't know, Nanto, Somerville, let's say Grey. Let's not say Grey. Let's say Nanto, Somerville, and who else have we got? Who we can sell to make money for
Yes,
fans to rebuild the
But
side?
Somerville and Nonto were signed by Marsh when Leeds were on the downturn.
Right. So we bought Somerville for 1.5 million. Yeah, Auto bought him from Feyenoord.
Yes.
So if we can get 30 million for him, that's a thing. We don't need to find the 78 million. We've already got 40 million of it from the sale of Sinisterra and Adams, which hasn't come on the books yet. So it'd only be 30 odd million. That's one player to me.
There's no way that Leeds won't go up this season that they're just going to sell one player. I don't agree with it. I don't. I think
I'm not saying they're going to sell one player, but I'm saying the 30 million that they're looking for is thing. Now, the 49ers can take some of that away by putting them in their own pocket. So that could leave us 10 million.
2 points, something million Leeds are in debt by. What they owe out.
190 million pound we owe other clubs.
Yeah,
190 million we've got.
It's only 78 million. It's only 78 million we have to find by
Yeah,
June.
but not by
Not
49ers putting their hands in their own pockets.
Yeah, but the
Next season, Leeds don't go up, and with me and Stu have discussed this off air, and we have. They're in shit streak. They are. We've discussed it, haven't we, Stu? I've discussed it with Rene as well. They're in.
I've watched a few of them now, and even Paul Robinson, ex-Leeds goalkeeper, did a podcast on Football Insider. And
I won't trust Football Insider as far as you could throw it, Stu.
I agree. I agree with a lot of the points. I agree with a lot of the points that you've made, Stu. But the problem with it is that you seem to you seem to go off the basis that we couldn't attract that kind of talent again.
No,
I have every faith we absolutely would.
Yeah, but you won't attract Chris Somerville or Nanto indirectly, straight replacement. You wouldn't. Leeds would go for the cheaper option. Yeah, they'd be all right, but they won't be good as Cree and Nanto. Leeds would do it on a budget that they'd have to stick to. I'm sorry, that's just my personal opinion with it.
The budget, but I'm saying
be the same quality, but I think we could attract somebody of sufficient quality to be competed for a promotion.
Yeah, next season, but then Puppet, you've got to look at it this way. You look, Sheffield United are going to go down. Luton are going to go down. Probably Burnley as well. I'm probably going to stick my neck out to them three at the minute. Then you've got still maybe Southampton to stay in Championship. We don't know. If we go up this season, it's fantastic. If not, I do think there'll be an exodus at Leeds. I don't see players staying that have had fantastic seasons. Cree Somerville, for example. I think Cree will go. I don't think Archie will go. I don't think it. I think he'll give us another season. I do. But do I see a lot of it? A lot of players going Deadwood and everything else. Squad players, Geldart, Joffrey, all those kind of. Yeah, I do.
I personally think he'll treat it like refitting a kitchen. He will literally rip it to shreds and start rebuilding it again.
I don't think many of the first team will go. I think it'll be mostly like your Geldart, your Shackleton, them that's out on loan. We can get buyers for them. You know what I mean? I don't see a lot of the first. Only two out of the first team I see going, which is Nanto and Somerville.
I think Dan James will probably have Premiership interest.
I think James stays. I actually think James will stay.
And James will stay.
I think Rutter stays. I think Rutter definitely stays.
They can't get the money.
Rutter, I don't think Rutter can hack it in the
No.
Premier League.
Certainly stays. If the guy could finish Rutter, he wouldn't be at Leeds now. Just my
Yeah, I
opinion.
agree with that.
And plus, we're not going to get anywhere near the 35 million we paid to him anyway. So
Mm.
But somebody like Chris Somerville, like Danny says, that they paid 1.5 million and they got, well, Liverpool quotes 45 million.
45 million or something.
43.5 million pound profit. Bye bye, Cree. That's
Yep.
just my.
I think he could do very well at Liverpool,
He won't start at Liverpool. I can tell you that right now. He will be on the bench.
but he'll have a fascinating run in a Carabao Cup when they're playing their backups.
Yeah, but it's a trophy more than Leeds have got, puppy. You want to be blunt about it?
Exactly.
I'll
Yeah.
be blunt about it.
I think he'll
Liverpool have still won more. They've won a trophy.
yes, but
Straight
he'll.
hand off for that trophy. They've won
I
a trophy
think,
this
I think
season.
he'll have a role to play at Liverpool, and I think he'll play it well.
Jurgen Klopp has won a Premiership, a Champions League, how many Youth Cups, FA Cup.
Mhm.
He's successful. You can't say that. Sorry.
Liverpool are a successful team in Premier League, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're elite. They've won it. Like Manchester United. Even Chelsea. They've won it.
Mhm.
I'm sure Spurs, even if it's like West Ham, we all slate Brother Lawrence when he goes on about that Conference League. They've won a trophy. Won something.
Yeah.
And trophies mean stuff to players. Cree, fantastic player. Do I think he's made for Liverpool? No, I don't. No, I think somewhere more like Crystal Palace would suit him. But if they're coming for that sort of money, 45 million, Leeds will sell. That like
And
that.
Arne Slot wanted him at Feyenoord. So that's what all the reason why I think he's going to go to Liverpool, because Arne Slot.
Danny, they've had scouts there all season watching him. They have had a lot of scouts watching Cree at Ellen Road and away from Ellen Road. But if Leeds stay up, they go up. I think Cree stays.
What do you
If
reckon?
it's true to
About
go up,
Creed to
yeah.
Tottenham?
But Tottenham were interested in Cree and Wilfred Nottingham.
Yeah. Do you reckon they do a good job at Tottenham?
There you go.
Under the
No.
Big up, Anna. Thank you. It's a woman talking, innit? Don't get it. I hear you, mate.
Can I just just say a big club comes in for Archie Gray.
Mhm.
Are Leeds in for a battle to keep hold of him?
Yes.
Danny?
I think he gives us one more season no matter what. I think he does what Calvin did, gives us that one more season.
It actually
What
could
about
do with another season.
Bayern Munich won't come back in for him though. It's one of them clubs where you get one chance to go, or they don't come back in for you.
Yeah, but Stu, you've got to look at play Bayern Munich. He's not forced to start at Bayern Munich. If I was at his age, I'd be wanting to play football every week, not sat on a bench. He's going to start at Bayern Munich.
But if I were Archie Gray, I'd be saying to myself, I trust myself to be able to break into Bayern Munich.
Yeah, but look at the players in front of him, Musiala and all that lot. He's got no chance.
I just don't want the Leeds fans base to be a bit upset if he leaves. That's all.
No,
I think we need to get prepared.
That's a good point, Hannah.
He'd have more chance starting at Borussia Dortmund than he would at Bayern Munich.
I think a Dortmund move would be better for him, Danny.
Yeah.
If you go that way, I think because of what they've done with Sancho, Bellingham, just as two prime examples. If I was Archie Gray and I was looking at my development, I'd go to Dortmund. I would.
Yeah.
Do I think he'll give us another season? Yeah, I do with Archie. I really do. I mean, I might be wrong. I'll be first one to hold my hands up to Stu and say I personally was wrong.
Mm.
But certain players, if Leeds don't go up, I do think they will go. Yeah, I do.
So it's crucial that we get promoted through playoffs, then, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think if you asked every Leeds fan in this chat right now, or even non-partials, they'd all want Leeds to go up this season. It means that much.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says on. I ain't bothered if we're in Championship this season. I've seen what you've been writing beforehand. You are bothered. You are. Every fan is bothered. Where we want to be, where Leeds deserve to be, is in the Premiership. We are a big club. We're not Huddersfield. We're not Sheffield Wednesday. We are Leeds United. Dirty Leeds. And that's how Leeds need to be. Fucking dirty Leeds. Get in there, win it, be positive, win every fucking tackle, every second ball, and fucking die for the shirt. You've got 3 games to do it now. Fucking turn it round. Get me in that dressing room. I'll get you fired up 100%. That's what
Yeah.
they need.
You give me that speech talk, Jess. Even I'd give it 100% for him.
That's the thing. Ambition. That's what we have to show. I don't, I'm fruitful with my language. Let's be blunt. You've got fucking 3 games. Put the fucking shirt on and die for the fucking shirt and get us back where we belong. Simple. No more. That's how it is. They've got everything to play for. Stu, I'd fucking give my right arm to be playing like where they are. They've got so much. They're on good wages. They don't have to worry about where the food's coming from, where the bills are coming from. The fucking privilege. All I am asking in the next 3 games, and Southampton as well, you put the shirt on and you die for the fucking shirt and you put that performance on so we can go away and say, do you know what? Leeds give fucking everything and we just fell that bit short. Then we move. If you do nothing, Stuart, and you turn up and you get fucking pummeled, then for me, nah. I just want to come away from this season and say, look, we give everything we could, but we fell short. We go again next season. Not, we literally capitulated and we did fuck all, like we did at QPR. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry my language is fruitful, but if you want me to say it as it is...
No, you're absolutely correct.
That's what I want from my team. It's just to show that little bit of heart and desire and say, come on, we can fucking do it because we can. We've got it there.
I think Parker's got that in him to do it. I think Parker's got it in him to say that.
I've got the rocket up their asses and they're going into them games saying, we win Southampton, we go for the playoffs, we get the final and we fucking live and die for the shit. And if we walk away and we're a bit shortchanged and we don't go up, at least we've given and we roll for next season. And I'll back Daniel Farker, whatever. But I just want to see that they want it and they desire it. That's all I want from my team. That's it. Ran over Carmigan.
Yeah.
What do we do with Archie Gray? Because I don't think Archie Gray's looked at his not natural self lately.
I think
Archie Gray is Leeds United through and through. I think blood is thicker than water, but a suitcase of money is a suitcase of money.
What would you do with your puppy? Get him back into the game. I'm not saying get his head back into the game, but he looks a bit. He looks like he's. Have we done the same thing with Archie Gray as what Arsenal do with Saka?
Do you know what I think it is, Stu? I think it's since we've moved Archie Gray back to midfield, he hasn't looked the same. When don't forget,
back at right back.
Yeah, that's where I'd play him.
He's played there most at seasons, Stu, so for me he's comfortable more at right back now because that's where he's played the majority of the season. So for me, I probably would move him back to right back, Danny's right, and put, for me, Gruev and Kamara in middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that.
Because if you look at the last 2 games that he's been in midfield, he's looked lost. Just to say, where right back, I've got more confidence in him at the moment than I have in centre midfield.
I agree. And on that note, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up because I'm on again in an hour and I'm going to have some tea. And I only said I'd do an hour and I've done 2 hours and 24 minutes.
I forgot. Sorry, so I was going to say, big up, Jess. I've got a soft spot for you for a reason. I love that speech you gave. That's passion. That's passion. I was going to say, how about this for a bit of positivity if you don't go up and a plan forward? You can have 4 loan signings. Go to a club like Spurs and say, we'll have 4 of your academy players for the season because they all know each other. They're all going to be looking to work together and improve themselves. And then dip down a division. You look at the likes of some of the players in League One that were sticking out. I forgot his name. Harrison, is it? Burrows. Harrison Burrows, I think. Peterborough or something like that. There's some of the players, the cream of the crop, doing really well there. Getting 3 or 4 from there, 4 of those loan signings that are looking to push on. You're injecting the club with 7 or 8 players that are mad for it. They want to really work their socks off to achieve something. I think you could do something like that. If you've got a manager like Farke in place and you get that injection, you're going to need it. if you lose a couple of big name players, you're going to need a lot coming in, and I think that's a sensible way of doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's why when Stu said Premiership quality, it's not always about Premiership quality. You need players that have got heart and soul and want to play football, not just be there for the big
We
money.
need some experience, though, Danny, this season, I think.
Yeah.
We've lacked the experience on the pitch.
All dead wide shoulders, Stu.
Yeah. You can go out and get a couple of players that have played in the Championship that have been, you know what I mean, stalwarts at 27, 28, 29-year-old that have been there and done that. You know what I mean?
I agree. Honestly.
Don't always have to be Premiership quality. You need your heart and fire in your soul and people that want to play football, not just there for the money.
I agree. And time.
That's what I'm saying about getting. That's what I'm saying about getting youngsters from an academy, whether it's Spurs or somebody else like that. If you get them from the same academy where they know each other, they're all hungry for success, want to prove themselves out on loan.
Stu's there.
Tottenham would be, if we would, for example, were loaning out our academy's been doing great this season, absolutely caning it. If we got players out on loan at a club like Leeds, big club, with ambition to come up, that'll do them a world of good. You would be getting a big boost for the season with players that were determined to prove themselves and got that hunger, that desire. None of this coming for just a wage for the wage, or coasting it along like we see with a lot of clubs having to put up with substandard performers. People that really want it, and that's why I say if you back that up with a few players, cream of the crop from lower division, to come in with that same attitude, taking that step up. They're desperate for success. They want to drive to the very top. You get all that together with a decent manager like Farke, I think you could do well. But you've got to do it sensibly, haven't you? I know what Stu's saying about get the experience in alongside, but some of those experienced players also don't really have that desire anymore. They kind of found their level and they're happy with that wage.
I think losing Ayling, coming into the season, I think that's going to be a big loss to Leeds United. I do.
I think it's been a big loss this season, Stu, since they let him go in January. Just my personal opinion.
I agree.
All dead wide.
I can't be a flip flop. I said that we had to let him go. If it meant him getting a new contract, he give his all for Leeds. And if he can get a new contract out of Middlesbrough, good luck to the man. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
He might be going Sheffield United next season, because I don't think Middlesbrough want to keep him. I think Sheffield United are interested.
Did you say you were about to wrap up, Jess?
I am. I'm going to wrap it up because I go live in another hour and 15. I'm doing Dortmund and PSG games, so I am going to wrap this one up. But big up to the panel that joined me today. We've all got our own opinions on it. One thing with this channel is we all say it as it is. We might not agree, but we don't get nasty with each other. We try and be respectful to each other. We don't always agree with everybody's opinions. Danny don't agree with mine sometimes. I don't agree with Danny, vice versa. But we all try and make it impartial and just have our own thoughts on it. And we don't get nasty or toxic because we're not like that. We all love Leeds. We're marching on together. Hopefully we're going up in the playoffs. Leeds, as they say. And big up, and there's only one thing left to say. It's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me.
Bye.
And it's a goodbye from them. Big up. I'll be back in an hour and 15 minutes. Make sure you're checking me out live, me and Stacey. Big up. Much love and thank you to the 37 people that have been in the house watching this. Much appreciated, guys. Check out all these lovely guys. Cool, Three Spurs Boys, Stu and Lee at the Team Lee Statham TV, Danny Runzion, Danny Talks Sport, Puppy Watch Yours,
Doghausen
for gaming. Check all these guys out. Give me a subscribe. I'll be back soon. Make sure to smash like, subscribe. See you all again soon. Bye bye.